Picture this. You reach your recording location, turn on the controller, then the drone. You're ready to fly without setting up your phone, cable, or extra accessories. Well, this is what the PTD1 from Potensic is going to make easier for us. The new controller with an integrated screen for the Atom 2. By the way, if you want to learn more about this drone, I'll leave a link in the description for the full review where you can see modes, settings, sensor, quality, and more. Today we'll focus on this controller, which has a built-in 1080p screen at 30 FPS, 700 nits brightness, and up to 3 hours of battery life. To fly calmly and enhance your ebook experience, stay with me here on TechCraft if you want to learn more. Let me give some context about the brand in case you're unfamiliar. Potensic has produced consumer drones since 2014. We already saw in the review of this Atom 2, which is a 249-gram drone with a 3-axis gimbal, 8K photos, 4K videos, high dynamic range, and batteries with up to 32 minutes of flight time. To complement this drone, what we're going to look at today is this. Potensic PTD1 is the controller with an integrated screen to enhance our flying experience. This way, we can forget about connecting any phone, cable, or extra accessory. So, without further ado, let's do the unboxing to see what's inside the box and how we can connect it to the Atom. Well, we see a pretty simple box, a white box on top. On the front, we have the name and model and an image of the device. On the front edge, we see highlighted features like the screen size in inches, the range, the battery life, and the type of charging. Right side shows the name and brand, left side also has the brand name. When opened, there are no surprises. What we find is the controller very well protected, the instructions, and a USB-C to USB-C cable. And well, as it seems, the first impression doesn't lie. The controller feels quite solid, the sticks have good travel, and the buttons are firm and well finished. Nothing creaks, and this already gives you a good sense of control. Okay, now with the controller out of the box. First, I want to discuss the physical design and construction. What are your thoughts? A gray finish all over the device, combined with dark gray on the back, which also has a slightly different texture. It's non-slip, so you can grip the controller like this. What we find on the front is a 5.5-inch screen that offers us a 1080p resolution and 700 nits of brightness, which will make it perfectly visible outdoors. We have two joysticks, the left joystick and the right joystick, with pretty good travel. You can tell they're quite precise. Right below the left joystick, we find the power button, and below the right joystick, the return button. At the top are two adjustable antennas. The standard controller has a thick center antenna, but here you can see these two instead. And on the top right, we have the photo button, a dial, a customization button, also the C2, and on the top left, the record button for video, another dial, and the C1, which we can also customize. On the upper edge at the back, we can find 3 vents for ventilation and the sound output of the controller. And if we go to the back, we see the 2 little slots, the 2 slots where the 2 joysticks will go, just like on the original controller. And on the bottom, we also see another set of vents for ventilation and also for sound output. If we look at the bottom edge, we can see 2 1/4-inch threads in case we want to attach an accessory, for example, a strap to hold the controller right here. And we can see that it has a micro SD slot and a USB-C port for charging. The controller has a 6400 mAh battery, which will give us approximately 3 hours of battery life. It also has 32 gigabytes of internal memory, expandable via the micro SD card slot. The good thing is that it has 27W fast charging via USB-C, which will fully charge the battery in about an hour and a half. And that means we'll have the controller available to use, for example, twice a day, or even 3 times if we want to have a very intense session. Okay, and regarding the weight, it's a bit heavier than the original controller, obviously, because it has the screen built in, and that makes up for it. And we have a total weight of 450 grams, which is almost half a kilo. It's not much, but it's enough to have a complete controller and be able to work directly without the need for accessories. Something I really like is that on the back, as I mentioned, we have grooves for your fingers so you can place them right here. This textured, almost non-slip surface is soft and feels great to hold. Now, let's go over the specifications and how it works. What will change when flying with this controller? With this PTD, when it's about immediacy. Arrive, turn it on, insert the drone battery, and you're ready to fly. No clips, no apps, no notifications popping up in the middle of your shot, no need for cell coverage. And well, so what's the result? Well, like I was saying before, more focus on what's happening in the air, and above all, more peace of mind while flying, without interruptions from WhatsApp, calls, and so on. As for transmission and response, while you're flying, you'll be able to monitor what you're seeing in 1080 at 30 frames per second. A very fast response and a connection with Peak Sync 4.0, which promises up to 10 kilometers of range. Now, to be honest, only under optimal conditions with a clear line of sight, low interference, and the antennas properly aligned. But anyway, that's something to keep in mind. Okay, I want to show you the difference with the controller that comes standard, alright? Take a look. In terms of finish, it's basically the same controller, but now with the screen integrated. As I was saying about the previous one, we have a single antenna in the center. Here we have two adjustable antennas. Over here, on the back, we have a grill system that we didn't have on the other one for the screen's ventilation. We don't have to keep opening and closing the controller. Doing this, like this, with your pants, if you use it a lot over time, it can get worn out here directly with the built-in screen. We won't have that wear and tear. The joysticks, well, they pretty much feel very similar. This one might be a little thinner, a bit smoother. The buttons on the front are exactly the same. We also have the threading on the bottom part. We don't have a slot for the memory card since we record in the MOD. Instead, there's internal memory and we can expand it. You put a 512 card in here and you'll be able to record for hours and hours without having to worry about your phone's internal storage. Regarding size and weight, what can I say? Weight ratio? This one is slightly heavier, plus you add the phone. I think this one was also around 400 grams, approximately 400 and something. Since everything is integrated, you won't need to connect cables, open it, grab your phone, or remove the case. If your phone is very big, the advantages are clear. It's all in one, while here you have to add extra things. But let me give you a quick overview of the drone for those who don't want to watch the full review. I have the combo pack, okay, which, as they say, lets you fly more. It comes with 3 batteries. The case also has charging capability to charge all 3 batteries at the same time. I think it's a 60-watt charger. This one right here, yes, 60 watts. And here, well, the little case, the pouch, all the cables, tools, and spare propellers. Here's the full combo. I'll share 3 versions now, followed by prices as I mentioned earlier. The drone features a Sony complementary metal oxide semiconductor sensor. You can take 8K photos, 4K high dynamic range videos, and it has a gimbal, a 3-axis mechanical stabilizer. To color grade, activate P-Log for custom post-production coloring. For quick publishing, use high dynamic range. It also has a 4x digital zoom that works by cropping the sensor. The same applies to vertical shots. The gimbal won't rotate, it's just going to crop. And this is perfect for TikTok Reels, Instagram. You export it and upload it directly. The good thing is that in the grid, you'll have the crop inside the image, and this way you'll be able to frame it perfectly to get it done. Then, for transferring, it has a smart transfer at 25 megabyte per second super fast. So the way you record, land the drone, transfer the video, and you can upload the reel instantly. Alright, a mode that we're really going to use. It has quite a few artificial intelligence modes for tracking. And we're going to have, for example, follow so it follows you, parallel so it goes by your side, and spotlight so it keeps you in the frame. This is ideal if you're walking, active, biking, or on a motorcycle. If you want more of a wow factor without complicating things, here are the artificial intelligence quick shots, as the app calls them. Okay, there's the rocket, the pull away, the circle, the boomerang, and the dolly zoom. That said, here are a couple of tips to help you avoid any scares with this type of drone in this segment. For tracking shots, you need to be at 4 meters high, set the gimbal between -75 and -25 degrees so there's no interference and it follows you properly. It also features an artificial intelligence powered night mode. I recommend that you make smooth movements so the image doesn't shake or create any unusual noise. Regarding my workflow, let me tell you a bit about how I work with it. At home, I keep the firmware up to date with the Potensic key, okay? I keep it updated to avoid worrying about it on site. And I press the on button on the PTD, put the drone's battery in, and take off. I adjust the stick sensitivity, confirm the return to home, and activate the A track, depending on what I want. Track. I usually use Smart Transfer to move everything to my phone, or just use the card directly if everything's ready. I transfer it to the computer and already have my files to upload or edit easily, so what benefit does the remote give us? Well, the battery lasts up to 3 hours. We have, as I mentioned, 3 types of options. We have the combo with Fly More, which already includes the 3 batteries I mentioned. 3 batteries give you about 96 minutes of flight time. An hour and a half, practically. Also, I mentioned the 60-watt hub so you can keep charging the batteries. All of this charges via USB-C. There's also a port to update the drone and insert the micro secure digital card, which I hadn't mentioned before. It does have the sensor for landing, but it doesn't have flight sensors to avoid obstacles. That's important to know to avoid surprises and stay compliant with regulations. Always keep the drone in sight. You should know this. Check the return to home function in case of issues. Make sure the drone can return, and before taking off, check for obstacles and the path where you'll be flying. And make sure it's in an open space and that we always have the drone, as I said, visually checked at all times. So in conclusion, if I sum it up, I'd tell you this. You turn it on and fly. 1080p screen with 700 nits, up to 3 hours of battery life and live high definition view. Very smooth, so you can frame properly without stuttering and without worrying if the drone is higher or lower. A light connection. On top of that, add the complimentary metal oxide semiconductor sensor, which has a pretty good camera with a 4x digital zoom vertical shots, and that's it. This would be a very strange set. You have to count everything, right? The PTD. Have I already told you that it's a bit bulkier than the classic controller? It's not much different, and its screen for monitoring is great. Please note, the clip you'll see here isn't the final quality. We'll start with 1080, then move to 4K resolution. Keep that in mind. Prices in Europe. I'll explain the 3 available options, okay? The drone with controller, the drone with the combo and the controller, and just the controller, okay? The standard version costs 459 euros, while the combo version is 579 euros. And if we only want the controller, assuming we already have the drone, it's 279 euros. Now, who is this for? Who do I recommend this drone and combo for? Mainly beginners. For example, the Atom 2 is user-friendly, lightweight, stable, and easy to understand. And if you can get the combo package, perfect, because it's really worth it. You get everything ready, I'm telling you. 1 click, all the batteries, and you're ready to fly. On the other hand, if you already have the Atom 2 and you don't want to depend on your phone or be bothered by notifications that kill your vibe, I think upgrading to the PTD-1 is a very, very efficient accessory. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks for making it to this part of the video. I hope I've answered your questions and that you're thinking about buying this PTD-1. It's very easy to use, very easy to set up, just press a button and fly. As I always say, in the description we've left the purchase link so you can access their website and see the items I mentioned earlier. And of course, thank you for being there. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave them in the comments. Any opinions? If you have a different drone, let me know about your experience. If you have the Atom 2 and you've bought the PTD-1, I'd also like to hear your feedback. And that's it. See you in the next episode. That's all for today, and may technology be with you. Bye.